Hi guys, welcome to our next episode of Wing Chun Roadmap.
Hello again.
Okay, so we will go straight into the meat of the problem.
So what we're going to talk about today?
Distance. That's a very, let's say, superficially understood concept that belongs not just to Wing Chun but to pretty much every martial art, actually not just every martial art, every fighting system. It belongs to every physical movement that a human body can do, right? So, well, talking about combat sports or martial arts or fighting systems, we have a lot of concepts here involved. We have distance, we have timing, we have power generation, we have control, we have facing, we have a lot of things. Today we will focus only on distance. Okay, so one thing I would like to emphasize here, this is not an instructional. So don't expect us to go into very specific details related to a lot of concepts. This is a roadmap. So we are helping you to understand and to see Wing Chun as a whole, as a, how should I put it, to explain it better, as to see your progression in Wing Chun step by step from point A to point, it's up to you how far you want to go. Okay, so
we want to define the distance, but not just for Wing Chun. So exactly like you said, for everybody to understand. So hopefully today you'll understand what distance is, both in martial arts, specifically in Wing Chun as well, but understanding the generic concept of distance. So let's start.
Yes, let's start. So basically we have something that we call safe distance or no fight distance. Well, I would argue here that no fight distance is something like this. This is super safe distance, okay? Nothing can happen from this distance, except
a gunshot.
Yeah. Otherwise, we start talking about this distance, which we call safe distance. It's not safe distance because the other person cannot hit me. It's safe distance because I have time to react. I have time to react because he cannot hit me directly. He has to prepare, he has to set up the movement.
So the first engagement is what defines the distance. Depending on the martial arts system, the point where we have the first engagement, that's going to define your safety distance. So for that, we can use two opposite examples. So we have long-range fighting, like you said, with a gunshot, but let's not go into that.
Yeah.
Maybe something more manageable like Taekwondo, right? So for Taekwondo, that means the length of the foot, my foot, because maybe his is a little shorter, so I need to consider the length of my foot, the length of his foot, and wherever they meet, that's going to be the edge. So before that is the safety distance, afterwards is the engagement zone. So that was Taekwondo. What about Wing Chun?
Well, talking about Taekwondo, for Taekwondo this distance might be short distance already.
Yeah.
For Wing Chun, we talk about safe distance, this one. You cannot hit me directly, right? Your weapons are simply too short. You cannot kick me directly, you cannot hit me directly, you cannot punch me directly. Obviously you cannot grab.
Yep.
So you have to prepare to move your attack. You have to
either step in,
right, or jump, or do whatever. So
or pivot.
Yes. So your first movement, it's going to be a setup. It's never going to be
a direct hit.
Right. That's why we call it safe distance. I can use my eyes at this distance, so I cannot anticipate, I can see, and I can block whatever you give me. Well, in theory, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So this is safe distance. Now, if you kick me from that distance, right? Now, I defended here. Kick me again. I defended this one. It's useless. Kick me again. It's nothing. It's no point defending something
that doesn't hit you.
Doesn't hit me. So we consider ourselves as being in the center, always. Everything is around, revolves around our center. So as long as he doesn't present an immediate threat to me, there's no need to defend, no need to waste energy. Okay. Now, if I step just 1 inch closer, I am already in the fighting zone. I am in his fighting zone, not in my fighting zone. That's because of the size difference. Right? Yep. So we do not talk in absolute terms. It depends. Right? From here you can hit me directly. Right? I still cannot. I'm too far. So, for me, I have to go into my fighting distance. That distance where I can hit him directly. Now here there's another issue. I can hit him with my leg, not with my fist. This is probably called long range fighting for some martial arts. For us, it's still fighting distance, however we do not consider it long range fighting distance for us. Because there is a maximum in Chun that says no hands, no legs. The leg technique is connected to our hand technique, right? So it should be always like this. Okay, not this position, of course, but the concept should be this one. We should always use legs and hands same time. Therefore, our long-range distance fighting should be this one. That distance from which I can hit him with my fist, my leg, not knee or elbow. This one is already considered
close range,
but more like medium range.
Yeah.
I can hit him with my
This is the middle zone of Wing Chun.
Exactly.
So Wing Chun starts where both arms and legs meet.
Yes.
And ends where the bodies meet.
Like here.
No space.
This is a grappling situation already. And so, long range, this one. If you have enough flexibility, you can kick him in the head, right? He has. Here, elbow, knee, closer, right? This one is already throws, right, takedowns. Now from here, it's very, very important to keep your body structure, because any kind of leaning will create problems for you. Any kind of unbalance will create problems for you. So problems that you have to solve. Let's not go into that right now today. Okay? So this one is actually short range for us. Okay. Here we can use elbows, we can use knees, but in another way. Okay, so this is talking about the basics of distance.
Right, so let's do a recap. So we have no fight zone, where I cannot hit with anything, neither arms or legs, without moving one arm or leg first. Then we have the contact zone, which means both arms and legs.
I mean, here, he can kick me if he doesn't practice his Wing Chun, right? He can definitely kick me. So I have to be prepared, I have to be ready, and I have to be able to defend myself from this situation. I have to get in touch with him to establish a contact. And from that contact, I have to close in and get into my fighting distance. I do not have to fight his fight. I have to fight my fight. Right. Okay. So.
Okay. And then it's the medium range, like elbows, knees, and then body range. Right.
Right.
So these distances, these fighting zones, they can be put against different martial arts. Sifu just explained what Wing Chun is all about. But the point is, put the distance according to your body abilities and your techniques. If you're a Taekwondo practitioner, then you should know what distance to use for your fighting. Right? Don't go as a Taekwondo practitioner here, because this is where grappling occurs and other things. if you're a BJJ practitioner or judo or anything,
don't stay there.
Don't stay here, right? So everything is good. Anything that you practice is good. Just remember which distance is used for what, because it's basically something progressional. You start from here, it's one system, here another system. Now, of course, there can be crossovers. So if you know those crossovers, it's even better. So you can use maybe alternating, like Wing Chun and grappling, or Wing Chun and boxing. So those kind of crossovers.
I would put this like this. You as a fighter, you have a toolbox, right? And you have tools inside. Now, of course, you have a knife. You don't use a knife for nails, right?
Or from here, right?
Obviously. You do not use a hammer to cut paper. So you have use each tool for its purpose.
What it's meant for.
Exactly. Now, if you're good at kicking, keep the distance. Don't let me get close. If you can do that, wonderful. For me, as a Wing Chun practitioner, I do not want to keep the distance. No, I want to get close. I do not want to get to the ground. So I don't want to get that close. Okay, so there is always a soft spot, okay, for each martial art. That range, that distance, where you feel comfortable. So you have to find that one for yourself. I do not know. You don't know. For me, I have another one way of using distance. You have another way of using distance. It depends on the size. It depends on the build. It depends on a lot of things.
And remember in training to always stick to whatever you're practicing. Don't mix them up.
Yeah, I don't advise you to put in Wing Chun, for example, something that doesn't belong there. So don't think that, okay, because Wing Chun doesn't have high kicks, we should put in some high kicks from Muay Thai or from Taekwondo. Yeah, they work, wonderful, but it's a different system. You mix up things. You cannot use high kicks from this distance. I mean, of course you can. You can do anything you want. In terms of, statistics is our friend. So the rate of success, right? What's the rate of success? I mean, it's very, very difficult to use high kicks from this distance. So from this distance, obviously, the best is to use no kicks or low kicks. Okay, obviously. So from here, if I want to have power, and this is another thing we're going to talk about, maybe next episode. If I want to have power, I cannot kick his head. Of course, I'm too close. So from here, I have to punch. I have to knee, right? Maybe I can. I don't know. I'm too far here. I need to find ways to close the distance because he will not let me close the distance. So obviously, I need to change the angle to do something. And I need to do it realistically as possible. This is why I have a problem with some Wing Chun practitioners. I'm sorry, but this is not the right Shisao range. Because, one, you cannot touch him. You might argue that, we don't want to touch each other, we would just want to train sensitivity. Then what's the problem training sensitivity here? Because this is the right range. So from here, I see people doing things like this, which defeats the purpose of there's no chance I want to hit him. Even if I hit him, it's going to be like this.
It looks fancy.
It looks fancy, but it's nothing.
Ineffective.
So
what it should look like is...
Right? It's just a touch. It's just a touch. I have to feel the distance, be there, be sensitive, and then go in and touch. And this is not a hit, actually. It's just a push. Right? This is more like a push, but it doesn't matter. It trains me the right body alignment to generate power in the future. It trains me sensitivity, and it gives me the feeling of distance. Because I know from this distance I can hit him. And not like this. This is useless. It should be here. Because from here I can go through him. My fist will not stop here and just create superficial damage. Same here. This one is useless. Always be here. Because from here you still have that power when you extend your hand. So you still can give power. Your punch can go through him, not stop here at the surface. Okay. So keep in mind that. So do not play Chisao. I don't like this word, play Chisao. Do not practice Chisao here. Get closer. Be sensitive. Okay? Get feeling of distance. See? This is the right distance. Now if he attacks me from there, I change the angle. I already know I can punch him here. If I'm here, I'm too far. Can I touch him? Yes, I can. Is it useful? No. I cannot generate enough power from here. I can touch him, I have a point. I might, feed my ego, but that's nothing. I have to be here. From here, I know if I extend my hand, his head will...
That's a good reference to make. There are some martial arts or some lines of martial arts that, for the sport's sake, they focus on points, right? Competition points, such as kicks like this or like this. So those are points. In Wing Chun, we don't have competitions, official competitions, right, for points. So being a self-defense martial arts, no regulations, internationally for sports. The point is to stick to the principles. So like Sifu was saying, try to aim all of your kicks and punches to go through the target. They need to be effective, not just demonstrating that I can touch you. That doesn't do anything.
And there's another issue here, and I guess we're gonna finish with this one, the chain punch. I see so many people doing this one. It's absolutely just makes no sense really. I mean, just think about it. This is the distance. I punch you once in your head, right?
Actually, you're stupid to still stay here.
Your head is not going to be there anymore. Yeah. So how can I punch you in the same place again with my other punch? No way. Your head is going to be there on the ground, or you're going to move. Yeah. Now, if you move, I cannot use my chain punch. It's too slow because when you move, if you are a Wing Chun practitioner, when you move, you're going to hit. How can I use my chain punch? So the chain punch concept is a different concept. The chain punch concept is continuous techniques until the other person is done. It's not doing this. So when we do when we do the Syrian Tower exercise, okay, the form, this is, we will talk next time about this one, but I want to introduce here the next topic. We do this punching. We don't do this because we want to hit like 100 per second. It's useless. I'm not saying it's not possible, okay? It is possible. It is possible, it is proven, some people did it, but you should not focus on that and only on that. You might have a surprise when you meet a boxer who doesn't care about your chain punches because they are too weak. You cannot hit fast and strong
at the same time.
At the same time. Not possible. You have to choose. Fast or strong. And something in the middle. There's a scale between fast and strong. If it's very fast, it's weak. If it's strong, it must be slower. It's just
the way it is.
It's physics. Yes, it's physics. Okay, so let's end up here, right?
Yes. So I hope we were able to clarify the distances in terms, layman terms. Yeah. Everybody can understand them regardless of the martial arts.
If you have any questions, please ask. Feel free to ask. We can answer any questions you have. Okay, so that's it for today.
On the next episode of Wing Chun Roadmap.
Yeah.